All right, name Joseph Edwards II, also known as Jody Edwards II. Occupation, United States Navy Sonar Chief Petty Officer. Um, Basically works on the United States naval submarines, the U.S. Michigan, I believe. Um, Kidnaps children from Hawaii with militaries. So these are war crimes, possible treason. Obviously, this is fraud, workers' abuse, possible hate crimes, attempts to murder, racism, obviously invasions of privacy, theft, sabotage, defamation, and a whole lot of other things from city negligence. Apparently, kidnaps children from Hawaii, takes them to United States military bases. Couple names: Naval Base Bangor, Washington, out of Washington State. Kings Bay Naval Base out of Kingsland, Georgia. Apparently, he kidnaps children from Hawaii, then stuffs them in an attic, so to say, on a military base, defrauds their name, changing their name, impersonates to be their dad or their father or whatever, does not contact the father or the real father at all, changes the last name of the child, so the real father cannot locate the child at all, can't find the child at all, doesn't attempt to reach out to the real father, claims he doesn't know where the real father is. This is not true. This kidnapper is using Bibles, Qurans, newspaper puzzles, the same thing the police are doing, the space police are doing. They're going into what we call computer codes that are in the Bible, that are in the Quran, that are in the newspaper puzzles, deciphering the codes and seizing all sorts of information. It's very possible this person could be a serial killer, because we find social security numbers in these codes. We find all types of information in these codes, property in these codes. We find just about everything you need to know about a person in these codes. If you could decipher it, you'd probably need a computer from space, a very highly advanced computer, that's probably being used by what we call the space police, as we see these as intergalactic crimes against people of Hawaii. It's possible these people that are being kidnapped are being brought here from the future as well. We see time machines. We see Philadelphia experiments here. This is the United States Navy. We see military operations here. Obviously, like I said, we see war crimes here. And anytime we bring it to the police or to the attorneys, nobody represents the case. Everybody walks away. So we see the whole country possibly involved in what we call war crimes, kidnapping children. We see missing children all over the world. We know the United States is involved. We know the police are involved in that. Too many cases where children are ending up missing. The reason why these children are ending up missing is basically the only reason a child is born is so these, what we call criminal coders and time travelers that are seizing accounts can get their names and then go into the future and seize their accounts. So the child is often killed at a young age. The people travel back in time. The people from the future, they travel back in time. They kill the child and then they travel into the future and they seize all the money and all the assets and everything from the child. This is why we're seeing so many abortions and all these sorts of things. They simply want to give birth to the child, give it a name, and then they want to go into the Bible, the Quran, newspaper puzzles, or whatever, and then go seize all the property, you know, with the time machine or whatever, seize all the money with a time machine. So it's no different than a typical time travel movie where a person goes back in time to kill somebody. It's the same thing that we're seeing with these parents. Okay, they're killing all these children. They're having all these abortions. Okay, they're basically traveling back in time to get their own children killed in order to take money. So we're seeing the same situations again and again and again. Like I said, the police, the United States of America, they're all aiding time travel. They're all aiding criminal invasion, criminal theft, time theft by the use of time machines. So we're seeing it all over the world. We're seeing this in nations all over the world as we see that the police have illegally ran operations on nations all over the world and have defrauded the legal system all over the world, okay, in order to get the system to accept whatever they want the system to accept rather than what is actually happening. Okay, and we see the police working for a system. They work for a computer system. Okay, they work for computers. They work for a system. And this system sees that the police are lying all the time and it can't tolerate it anymore, and it usually gets everyone killed. And the system, even from what we understand, is talking about killing the entire species off. So the system cannot sustain itself or whatever unless it uses laws or whatever. And this has been the problem the whole time. They know that. And so they're trying to defraud laws. And the system sees that they're all lying and trying to get the system to accept laws that are not actually in truth, that are not actually factual laws, but are actually lies governed by majority of people. Okay? But this person, Joseph Edwards, the second is obviously he's using a military, possibly a military from space. He's got relatives involved. He's got friends involved. He's got his own family involved. They're all involved in it. They all played a role in kidnapping children. No one says anything. No one reports anything to the police. Okay, as we can see that, again, these children are being kidnapped, murdered, or whatever by time travelers. They're taking their accounts, they're taking their funds, they're taking their money. No one cares. The country is broke. Okay, the country is being held hostage by what we call space police that are defrauding the nation, defrauding the country, that have already filed lawsuits against the nation to dismantle the nation, and now this nation is a prison nation. But we're seeing too many cases to where this person, Joseph Edwards II, is getting away with more military crimes than just about anybody. And it's very possible that he may not even be in the service at all, that he may be impersonating to be military personnel. As too many cases, too many times we found that he's not even listed as a United States naval officer.